One of the many challenges that I see as a urologist and director of the prostate clinic in my clinical practice is men trying to get their heads around the various complexities of different prostate conditions that they have and ensuring that their questions are adequately answered. In today's video, I wanted to address three of the most common questions that I see regularly through my clinical practice and also from scrolling through and looking at the comments and questions that men leave throughout the videos on this YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Dr. Charles Chabert. I am a urologist and the director of the prostate clinic for over the last couple of decades. As always, if you get benefit, please like and subscribe to the channel. But also, if you'd like to join our community for a live event that will address more issues like this and answer your specific questions, please follow the link down below and sign up to an event that we have on Thursday, the 25th of September, where I will host a live event answering your questions about anything related to your prostate. Okay, let's get into it. So one of the most common questions that I get regularly is, because I have a high PSA, does that mean that I have prostate cancer? For those of you who don't know, the PSA test is a blood test that we use to try to screen or test for prostate cancer. One of the challenges that we have is that the blood test is not specific for prostate cancer and can actually increase if men have, for example, a benign enlarged prostate or alternatively some inflammation within their prostate. So as you can see, we have a non-specific tool that we use for a specific purpose. Regular viewers of the channel will be aware that if men have an elevated PSA, certainly here in Australia, the way that we evaluate their prostate cancer risk is to proceed on with an MRI. It's a non-invasive tool and it gives us a specific assessment really of what it looks like in someone's prostate, and from that we can get a relative risk about an abnormal growth being present. So the PSA test really is an entry-level test to give us a crude idea of what we think may be going on. But certainly, if your PSA is above an age-specific threshold, it does not mean you have prostate cancer. It does mean, however, that you should be further evaluated to assess your risk. If you'd like to be part of our growing community, please follow the link in the comment section down below and sign up to our free newsletter that comes out on a weekly basis, keeping you up to date with all aspects related to prostate health and various treatments that are available for men. Now back to the video. The second most common question that I get in my clinical practice, and certainly something that is asked regularly on the channel, is, does a prostate biopsy spread cancer? To give you some background there, as I mentioned previously, if someone has an elevated PSA, we then do an MRI scan to try to determine if there is an index or a target lesion within the prostate. If that is the case, the next step is really to get a tissue sample or a biopsy of that area of concern. Now, what that biopsy does is it tells us, number one, is the spot that we see on the scan, is it cancerous or is it benign, i.e. non-cancerous? In addition to confirming that, it will also tell us what the grade is. The grade basically is a scale that tells us if a cancerous lesion is less aggressive or more aggressive. That scale is the Gleason score, and it is a score that is given by the pathologist when they look at biopsy material, depending on the architecture or the pattern that they see. My answer to the question of does a biopsy spread prostate cancer is that not all prostate cancers spread, and it is the grade or the biology, the blueprint, the DNA of a particular cancer, if you like, that facilitates invasion into blood vessels, lymphatic channels, small nerves in the prostate, and it's the invasion of those structures that allows prostate cancer to get out of the prostate and to spread elsewhere. If men have a low-grade prostate cancer, for example, a Gleason 6, which is a 3 + 3 = 6, a grade 1 cancer, these men do not demonstrate ever any evidence of spread of their cancer. And that really underpins why we don't treat these men and we monitor them with surveillance. There are some nuances that is deeper down and beyond the realms of this conversation today where we may consider, but for the most part, Gleason 6 we don't treat because there is no metastatic potential. We find out if someone has Gleason 6 on the basis of a biopsy in the same way that we find out if someone has a Gleason 7, 8 or more. Obviously, the higher grade cancers are at a greater risk of spreading. So my answer to the question is that no, a biopsy does not cause dissemination or spread of prostate cancer, and it is the biology of the tumor itself which facilitates that. The third question I wanted to highlight today really is, can I have sex after I have my prostate removed? So the name of that surgery is a radical prostatectomy that is done almost universally now with a robotic keyhole approach. The prostate, as you may be aware, is part of the male reproductive system. It produces fluid that a man sees when he has an orgasm, and men can obviously survive without a prostate. The consequences of removing a prostate from a sexual function perspective relate to ejaculation and also to erectile function. Certainly from an ejaculatory perspective, there is no further fluid that is emitted when a man has an orgasm after he's had a radical prostatectomy. It's obviously a permanent change. And many men will report to me that the sensation can feel a little bit weird and it takes a bit of getting used to because they go through the motions, but they don't get the sensation that they had previously that they associated with the emission of fluid. Some men say it takes a bit of getting used to, or it may be less intense. Some men say it's shorter in duration. I think the key factor is to be prepared for changes in ejaculatory function. The other aspect is erectile function, and the probability that erections recover after someone has a radical prostatectomy relate to the age and wellness of a man when he comes into surgery. And crudely speaking, the younger a man is and the more well he is, or the fewer comorbidities, the fewer other health issues that man has, the greater the probability that he will recover. Certainly, if men are older, if they have diabetes, high blood pressure medication, they're going to recover slower and potentially not at all. The other factor that plays a significant role with regards to the probability of erectile function recovering relates to our ability to spare the neurovascular bundles, which are the nerves that supply the penis and facilitate erectile function. The ability to spare those nerves is dependent on the location and the characteristics of the cancer. If the cancer is larger, more aggressive, and close to those nerves, our ability to spare them is reduced. If, however, the cancer is smaller, it's less aggressive, or away from those nerves, then yes, we can be very aggressive with sparing those nerves, and the probability of erectile function recovery is far greater. If you'd like to have your question answered, if you'd like to do more in a Q&A format on this channel, please join the wait list and sign up to our live event, which, as I said previously, is being hosted on Thursday, the 24th of September. Follow the link down below. Hopefully I'll see you then. Until the next time, please take care of your prostate.